I want to tell you guys a little bit about how one of the many ways that Misty has changed my life.
Oh.
One day, about 2 months ago, she shared with me her new favorite podcast. And that's her face. And I have listened to almost every episode since. And it is called...
Smartless.
Yeah. And
it's incredible.
tell them who's the hosts.
Jason Bateman. Sean Hayes. And Will Arnett.
They look like these three fellas right here.
They sure do.
And
That's them.
And when we come back, we're going to talk all about their podcast.
We are.
It's a podcast about a podcast.
Smart. Less. Smart. Less. Smart. Less.
I'm going to let you drive most of this boat because it's your favorite show. It's also my
is.
favorite show, but I'm going to let you say that it's your favorite show.
Okay, it's my favorite show. It's my favorite podcast. And initially I was like, hey, why don't we do a versus where we do Jason Bateman versus Will Arnett versus Sean Hayes. And then we realized that Sean Hayes is such an angelic human. I mean, he's clearly better than the other two.
Well, I mean,
So we couldn't really do a versus.
not really true, or
It's completely true.
I mean, everybody knows Will Arnett's probably the best human who's ever lived.
No, I don't think so.
He is the voice of BoJack Horseman.
He sure is. He's also the voice, I think, of the Reese's campaign. All of the Reese's pieces and cups.
Lego Batman.
Oh, I forgot about Lego Batman.
Yeah, so
We should probably
Sorry, Sean.
give Jason Bateman his due as well.
you mean the guy that hasn't aged ever
Ever.
since he was 21?
Like, it's incredible. I think that he ages less than Paul Rudd does.
Yeah, I
It's
think
baffling.
he looks like he's been 38 for 50 years.
Seriously.
Maybe
Seriously.
35. Maybe 35.
Yeah,
We mean
I-
all of this in high praise, guys. We're not shitting on
We
anybody
do,
on the show.
absolutely. It's incredible. But, like, part of one of my favorite things about the show is how Will Arnett, like, jumps on Jason Bateman's ass all the time about how healthy he eats. And he eats twigs and crackers that are made out of nuts and blah, 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 blah. So I attribute that to why he literally looks like he's 25 years old still.
Yeah. Do you want to hear some of the amazing guests that they've had on their show?
I know all of them, but I want you to tell everybody that's listening.
This is in order of when they started.
Before that.
They're
but-
smart. They started with Dax Shepard.
Of course they did.
Neil-
Who has an existing, hugely popular
Our other favorite.
podcast of his own, Armchair Expert,
That's
which
right.
is one of my other favorites.
And,
yeah.
And now we can tag that show in the show.
Tag that shit.
Dax Shepard, Neil deGrasse Tyson, Melissa McCarthy, Seth Rogen, Kamala Harris, days after she announced.
Favorite? No,
Yeah.
it was literally the day, like they announced later that night. She didn't even know yet.
Wow.
Yeah.
Will Ferrell, Robert Downey
She
Jr.
got chills.
Yeah. Maya Rudolph, Jimmy Kimmel, Gustavo Damali, I don't know. Jennifer Aniston, Clayton Kershaw, Adam Sandler, Stacey Abrams.
From Atlanta.
Yeah, that seems like another Stacey that I know. Reese Witherspoon, Brendan Shanahan, Conan O'Brien, David Chang, Paul McCartney, Sarah Silverman, Ricky Gervais, Ron Howard, James Corden, Megan Rapinoe, Martin Short,
Your
which
favorite.
was I think
Catalyst
Yeah.
for us making an episode about Martin Short.
Catalyst was the perfect word. Bryan Cranston, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, Sam Harris, Darius Rucker, Judd Apatow, Billie Eilish, and Phineas O'Connell, David Sinclair, Aquafina, George Clooney, Brad Paisley, W. Camus Bell, Stephen Colbert, and Ted Sarandos, who's the CEO and co-chief content officer at Netflix.
Do you want to know which one of those is my absolute favorite?
I'm going to go Neil deGrasse Tyson.
No. I'm going to leave that one for you because
Okay.
I think that's your favorite.
Maybe. Oh,
Mine was Melissa McCarthy.
I love that one.
It was so
Yeah.
good.
I think a couple of notable things that stand out is Jennifer Aniston's episode where she was like, "Don't worry about me, guys. I'm just a guest. You
I'm
guys
just
keep
here listening to you guys talk.
Yeah.
We've been on here for 8 minutes and
Yeah.
I haven't said a word yet. It was incredible.
As much as I don't want to admit it, George Clooney is my favorite
It was
episode.
a really good one.
But I really wanted Brad Paisley's to be my favorite episode.
Okay.
I thought Brad Paisley was just this mega star since he was born, but he
Mm-hmm.
talked about how like he got his first hit and how he went on tour, and they asked really engaging questions, and I love Brad to death. But man, just Paul McCartney, dude.
Yeah, I liked that episode. It definitely didn't hit me the same way that some of the others did. Like I said, Melissa McCarthy's, I love listening to her on anything. I think she's just such an engaging human and has such a like great thought process, and just her openness and her sense of humor, and I just think she's absolutely incredible. She also was on Dax's podcast, and it's one of my favorite episodes of that as well.
Well, there you go. And there you go.
So do you want to know how this all like came together?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So this is a quote from the angelic Sean Hayes that you might know from a little show called Will and Grace.
Just Jack.
The three of us have been friends for a long time and have always been trying to find a way to work together. Jason and I were casually talking about podcasts and how fun it would be to do one, and we wanted to include a third person. So we went through my Rolodex, and wouldn't you know it, Arnett came up first.
That's hilarious.
So also, like, part of the theme of this is that one of them finds the guest for the week and the other two don't know who it is. So they can't really prep questions ahead of time.
Yeah.
They have to come up with these things on the fly.
You know what I want to know is they do like a 5-minute intro.
They do.
And the guest is
Sitting there in silence.
Can you imagine keeping George Clooney just sitting somewhere saying nothing for 5 minutes, 10 minutes?
I think it's hilarious. I like, it makes me laugh a lot when the guest is finally like, hi, I'm here. Hi,
Yeah.
I'm still here.
Right.
Yeah. But I mean, I think that's part of what I enjoy about it too, is listening to the chemistry that the three of them have together. Mm-hmm. Like, they could literally sit there for the whole hour, just the three of them talking, and I would listen to it.
Oh, without
the guest.
Yes. Without a guest.
Right. But then you add the guest in,
Yeah.
and it's just ridiculous.
Yeah, and then the elongated history that they have in Hollywood and how
Yeah.
they've known each other, and it's like, oh, I met you at a mixer for this
Right.
when we were premiering this show, and you're like, I forgot you were on that show. That's insane.
Completely.
What a great show. What a
great.
great 15-minute advertisement for Smartless they're making right
It
now.
really kind of is. Little fact for you.
Okay.
When I was a little kid, I had a big crush on Jason Bateman.
Me too.
I figured you did.
I had a bro crush. I wanted to be him so bad.
Really?
Yeah, really. I thought he was cool, and like he didn't ever
was
really
very
get
cool.
frazzled, and he always has like a witty retort to say.
Which he still is like that.
Yeah, super dry.
Super dry. Super dry. I completely love the dryness that he brings to everything.
I have a
The
little
dryness. That sounded gross.
Well, hopefully not too much. I have a fun fact about Will Arnett.
Tell me. What you got?
That's my face, and this is Will and his ex-wife. You know who that is?
Amy Poehler.
Amy Poehler, bro.
Yeah. They
kinda-
seem to have a good like co-parenting relationship.
Yeah.
Post.
They're still friends.
Well, they would have to be like, that circle of people, like you're not going to not see each other,
100%. 100%.
Yeah. Can we take a minute and talk just for a second about a couple of things about Jason Bateman?
We can spend the rest of the episode on Jason Bateman.
Well, I don't want to do that,
Okay.
but I just want to talk for 1 second about a little show
The facts.
that also Will Arnett was on
What?
called Arrested Development.
Oh, there's always money in the banana stand.
Always. Did you know that Sean has not seen Arrested Development?
That's not true. He started a couple
during
weeks ago.
Pandy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Were you a Arrested Development fan?
I'll tell you this, and no offense, boys, if you're listening, because why wouldn't you take a minute to watch a 15-minute daily pop culture
About you.
podcast about you?
Yeah.
I love the early stuff.
The revival.
Yeah.
That's so great.
Well, it's not that it's not great. It's just I've moved on.
Yeah, same. I
Yeah.
feel like my brain was in a different place.
Yeah.
And I
love
I
that they
agree.
did it. I love that they made it.
Yeah.
I love that the idea behind it, that bringing everybody back together. Love.
Mm-hmm.
I just, at the time it came out, it was competing against other things that had my attention. I didn't remember the storyline. I have a very bad memory. So
true.
I didn't want to go and rewatch it all. But special shout out to my boy Nelson Hill of Nelson Hill Photography, who has memorized every single word of every episode. Let's be sure to tag Nelson Hill Photography out of Minnetonka, Minnesota.
Okay.
He's the world's biggest Arrested Development fan.
All right. every line. That's pretty incredible.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure back in the day, Joyce and I could have done that too.
Oh,
like we
probably.
watched it religiously
Yeah.
back when we were drinking a lot.
Don't you want to give out Joyce's address and social security number
Why would I want to do that?
as a joke?
I don't think that's a good idea.
Moving right along. Do you have other Jason Bateman facts?
Jason Bateman never finished high school.
Oh, I love him even more now.
Yeah. I mean, he was an actor from the time that he was very, very young.
Right.
So I'm sure he went to one of the satellite schools or whatever, but he never got his GED either.
Yeah.
Never graduated.
Are you guys familiar with a little show called Ozark?
I've seen it once or twice.
Yeah. He directs that show.
Yeah.
He directs every other episode of that show.
He's also directed The Outsider, which was on, I believe, HBO early in Pandy. And I got super wrapped up in that. It's crazy.
You know what I think we should do out of respect?
Tell me.
I think we should spend the last 3 minutes on Sean.
That angel of a human.
Let's talk about what Sean's done.
You know what? Let's do that. I am going to pull up some Sean Hayes information.
I'm going to look up his IMDb.
I think you should. I think he is just like, literally, I just want to give him a hug all the time.
He seems like he could just do just tag, like all the time, just the hands, the energy.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think he's so great.
Let's see what he's done here.
Will and Grace, obviously.
Yeah. Oh,
won a Primetime Emmy Award, 4 SAG Awards, and an American Comedy Award, and earned 6 Golden Globe nominations. So he's not quite in our EGOT winners episode from Monday, but he's won himself a few things.
He's not out of the EGOT contention.
No, because he also sings and plays piano. So I think he could go for that Grammy.
Man,
And the Tony as well.
He was in a show called Sean Saves the World,
I've not heard of
2013 to 2014. Here's his IMDb, everybody. I'm going to scroll to the bottom. Look at all these credits.
Holy crap.
Wow. So I guess he started back in 86 as a spectator, unconfirmed, whatever. Silk Stockings.
Oh, that was like softcore porn.
Ooh, yeah. AMP was a short.
Billy's Hollywood Screen Kiss was such a great movie. That was during my college years.
Jackie's back. Buzz Lightyear Star Command, The Adventure Begins. Can you imagine like that early in your career getting like a big
No.
Saturday Night Live?
He does talk about that on the show quite a bit.
He was on. I didn't realize he was a Saturday Night Live character. He was on Rugrats.
He was on Scrubs.
Oh, Scrubs. Martin and Lewis. Pieces of April. The Cat in the Hat. Win a Date with Tad Hamilton. Remember that movie?
I loved that movie. It was so cheesy.
Roberto the Insect Architect. Tom Goes to the Mayor.
30 Rock.
30 Rock. The Bucket List. Igor. Soul Man. Man Stroke Woman. TV movie. Interesting.
Ooh.
Oh, hello. Jimmy started on Jimmy Fallon. Hot in Cleveland. Remember Chad?
I loved that show.
Portlandia. He plays characters named Sean a lot, which I think is funny. But man, Will and Grace, dude.
Yeah. Did you know he also he hosted the 64th Tony Awards?
You should get a Tony for
I think
hosting.
that Sean Hayes needs an EGOT.
Let's
I
vote
think
him
he's
up.
being robbed.
Yes.
It's being robbed.
The reason we keep bringing up EGOTs, everybody, is because we did an episode on EGOTs literally on Monday.
And we've also talked about how someday we also will have a WeGot, which includes the Webby Award.
Yes, and we're making our own awards for season 2 called the
Schmevergots.
the Schmavergots.
Yeah. Which will be a
the
whole
Schmergish.
bunch of other things that we'll award to ourselves.
Right. Well,
Because we're
that's-
most awesomeness.
I think that's about enough of a plug for our favorite podcast.
It is.
Smartless. And if you need a new producer, guys, your guy's doing fine. But if anything happens to
I
him,
was like, ouch.
call your boy.
Trying
We
to-
got a little thing going on over here.
Wow.
Oh, you know what I would like to plug?
Tell me.
One day Pandy will open up, and those boys will be able
Apparently
to
in
record
June.
in the same room.
Oh, I can't wait.
Gentlemen, we have 3 mega prime studios here at Brickyard Media Group. We're calling you out right now. When Pandy's over, you come
here and
record
your podcast.
Record your podcast. It's very conveniently located amongst
true.
all of the studios near the valley, and this person works here too.
I do.
So,
Sometimes.
as
This
long as you're not
person.
listening to Smartless,
You should be listening to us. And we'll see you tomorrow.
hey.